Now, Coach, how many years were you at East Central as the head coach? 'Cause I know your tenure started before you were a head coach.
As a head coach, 15 years.
Head girls coach at Tulsa East Central High School.
Yeah.
Illustrious career, which we're going to dive into. You had 9 trips to the state finals, correct?
Yes.
3 gold balls, 6 silvers.
Right.
So you done been all up and down the spectrum in terms of that final dance. Now, in my mind, I'm wondering how in the hell does somebody with still as much fire left in his belly like you do, I can just tell from talking to you before we cut the cameras on, how are you on the outside of the business looking in? I know that your tenure at EC ended in sort of a controversial fashion, so will you walk me through that?
Sour note. It was sour. First of all, my love has always been about the kids. About the kids. To build a base like I was able to do, and had the teachers, the outside people. Man, I was giving T-shirts away, everything. Where when you walk in the gym, you see East Central this, East Central that. It took a while to do, but you had to understand what you were doing to get it done as far as the children wise. You go into a gym and you see the gym packed with full of East Central stuff, and the kids are all hyped. Hey, look at our fans, blah, 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 blah. They don't know that I gave half of the shirts away to get these people to support us and this and that. So it was pretty deep. All of my kids that was in my program for years, we made sure that their parents understood about the ACT. I had classes or parent meetings that said, okay, you need to get your kids' ACT stuff done, enroll your kids in different classes to be able to go to Division I schools. And this was way back before anybody even started talking about it, because I had found out about it by coaching boys in the AAU, and they had these seminars that we had to go to. And they would tell us, hey, you had to have a certain GPA, you had to do this, you had to do that. Well, I just brought that back, and I was giving it to my parents and trying to get everybody on board to make the program successful besides basketball. Oh, I had basketball players that can play, but if you didn't do these things to be able to go to college, it didn't work. So I put all of these things in place and started building. The thing that hurt me the most when I got the situation at East Central was just the lack of support from that I couldn't see from everybody not coming forward and saying, okay, what is this about? That never happened. And to this day, right now, I still don't understand. I know what they're trying to say, that I had 2 players on the same address and that I did this and I did that. It's more than that, and it's fine. I hate it for the children that when you did this to me, they didn't get an opportunity to play for a state championship because you took me out of the deal, but you allowed the kids to go back and play. So I have a lot of love for Tulsa Public School because I still work for Tulsa Public School.
As you just told me, for how long, Coach?
36 years.
36 years. I ain't even 36 yet, Coach. That's big time, man.
36 years, man. I've been with Tulsa Public School, and I have a lot of respect for Stephanie Springs, Dr. Ballard, even the current administration, Gil Cloud and Mick and Dr. Guest. I still have respect for them. I mean, this is a business, it's a job. You have to do you have to do what you think is right. It ain't always right, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and I respect that. But long term for me, I think it just damaged my heart the way that they went out, because I gave a lot to Tulsa Public Schools, and it's just one of those things. I don't wish it on anybody, but I still support Tulsa Public School kids. I support a lot of the coaches. I'm there for them regardless. I'm in the reading programs for Tulsa Public Schools. Give it back. I'm in the biking program, the riding bikes for. So I still do a lot with Tulsa Public Schools, just not on the coaching side.
Now, is the urge to coach totally gone, or is it sort of laying dormant right now?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. When this situation happened at East Central, I was done. I was done before. I was done coaching at East Central before that.
Okay.
I had already went to Gil and him and told him that this was probably gonna be my last year because, of the current administration that was over there. I just couldn't do it.
Right.
And I was pretty much gonna be done at the end of the year.
How good were y'all projected to be that year? Did you think y'all had one more crack you could make at it?
Oh yeah.
On your way out?
We were young, and we were the expectations were not for us to be there, but we was one step away from going back to the state tournament. I didn't get to coach that game. We lost to Booker T by one. Booker T went on to one state. So with all of the things that went on in this and that, do I believe we could have won it again? Oh yeah, three more years.
Yeah.
Oh, them was pups. Those was babies.
Yeah, they hadn't even blossomed yet, huh?
And I'm telling you, they were pretty good. I mean, they was part of the process of getting better, learning from the kids that was there before that had just won the state championship. They battle every day in practice and this and that. Yeah, we started the season off rough and we had some things that go wrong or whatever. But it's not what you do at the beginning; it's what you finish up at the end. So
that's the truth. When you say you didn't coach that particular game against Booker T, two questions. What year was that, and what was the reason why you weren't coaching?
Well, they had suspended me. They
Okay.
suspended me. We had just won a regional game that night, area game that night. And they said that one of my parents was up in the stands, and she was hollering about, oh, he got all these kids on my address, blah, 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 blah. So my assistant coach called me that night and told me, hey, Matt, you need to have a conversation with her. She's in the stands talking about this and that. I said, I don't care nothing about that. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that.
I'm trying to win the game.
Right. So the next day, I thought about it, and I called Pam, which she was my assistant coach. She works at the enrollment center. And I said, Pam, apparently we got two kids that's on the got something wrong with their address, and what is it that we could do to get this stuff straightened out? She told me that they need to get their mail and bring it up there so we can straighten it out or whatever. I said, all right, let me call them and get it done. So I call them and I tell them, hey, if y'all got something wrong with y'all address or whatever, y'all need to go down here to the enrollment center and get it straightened out. Then I called her back. I said, Pam, you work down here. You know these kids. We've all taken these kids home. What's the chance we can expedite this and get this stuff taken care of? She tells me, she says, well, get them to make sure they takes you all of their information and send it to me. I send it. I do that, and she goes in or whatever, and she calls me back. She says, they've already flagged their stuff and pulled their stuff. I said, what does it matter? I mean, we've taken these kids home. You're a coach. You take your kids home if they need a ride or whatever. You know where they stay.
Without thinking.
It's no ands, ifs, and buts. It's no brainer about it. I ain't got nothing to hide. First of all, you administrator and you're athletic director, whatever. All of these kids are approved by you anyhow, not me. So
Good point. That's above our pay grade.
yeah, I mean, they can't even play it till you say okay. So with that being said, even the administrators in the school, you hear every day, you see these kids every day. You come into practice every day and pop in and look and see who's in there. We're not talking about freshmen. We're talking about a sophomore and a junior.
Yeah, they've been here a few years.
They've been here. So with that being said, I'm trying to get all of this stuff straight. I get a phone call saying you need to come to my office. Blah blah blah. Okay, you're going to be suspended until further investigation. I'm like, okay, whatever. So
you still confident that we're gonna get to the bottom of this?
Yeah, I
ain't
wasn't
even tripping.
I'm like, okay, let's do what you got to do, whatever, blah blah blah. So 2 days later, after that, it was 2 days later. They called me in and they says, well, you're going to be suspended until further investigation of this, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay. We got to play Booker T. I can't practice the kids. I can't get them ready. This is to go to the state tournament. An opportunity to go back to the state tournament after we just won it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Then
Some serious implications right here.
well, you allow the kids, you tell me in the meeting to call these parents and have them take their information up to the school, up to the service center.
Right.
I told them I already done that. They already on their way to do that. Everything matches up. Everything is, you let the kids play, but you suspend me.
Yeah,
They
that don't add up.
No, the kids got to play, and you suspended me, and I'm just like, okay. Everything added up. Everybody stays where they're supposed to be staying. Everybody who's this and that or whatever. So whatever information that you got or whatever from whoever, okay, whatever, it don't have, ain't got nothing to do with me. But from what I understand, you question this person, you question that person, you threaten this person, you say this to this person, and everybody started saying, well, Coach Mack, Coach Mack, Coach Mack.
Yeah, you're a common denominator.
But you ain't listening to what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is I don't have nothing to do with that. I cannot go into the computer and sit down and type those kids' name and put their stuff in and all of that. I can't do that.
Right.
You know,
You don't have those credentials.
I have nothing to do with that. But at the end of the day, I was already done over there. That's why I did not fight. I did go a couple of times and have conversations with Gil and them and so on and so on. But at the end of the day, I was done over there because of certain things that were going on. I just
It was just time.
it was time to go.
I got
You
you.
know, and then I was told after we won the state championship, Mac, you staying too long. It's time to go. And I didn't pay attention.
Are you talking about from some of your peers?
Yes.
Man, let's talk about that right there, because I'm always, part of the reason why I wanted to reach out to you and have this conversation is because, you know, coaching is, I think it looks like the profession may have changed a little bit, because a lot of the mainstays, the cornerstone figures, of course, I can't say there's going to ever be another Samy Mack, but, you know, coaches who unpack the bags and actually plan on planting some seeds and staying long enough to see them grow, that doesn't seem to be as many.
Right.
As in my era, you know, like the Samy Macks of the world, the Coach Fords of the world, and stuff like that. But I'm saying all this to say, people don't know how hard it may have been for you to be like, you know what, I've done enough, let me step away. Like, what did you, when you say you were hard-headed or didn't listen, did you go through that process of like, man, this is home? What you mean be done?
I went through that process, and it was tough for a while because I struggled with a lot of things that was going on, and being accused of different things. And so I've been one that I've always opened my gym and says, come on. If you want to get a workout in and I'm in the gym, come on.
Yeah.
It ain't I'm trying to get you or whatever. I want to see you succeed and be the best.
Right.
People don't understand how many kids that I've coached outside of East Central that has went on the big time, boys and girls. And they've come right in that gym at East Central and practiced with me at East Central, but did not go to East Central.
Yeah.
And we're talking about some big dogs.
Yeah.
Major big
And
dogs.
we just got to talk about some of the big dogs.
Man, boys to girls, I'm telling you, I've had some of the best. But every time I got ready to try to quit, God sent me somebody else that it was a need for them to have me be in their life to be able to help them. What people don't understand is Tulsa Public School don't give you a budget. You know, you walk into a program that may have had a booster club, you may have had this amount of money left over. You have to build your program. When I walked in over at East Central, they had a little money girls basketball program, but to do the things that I wanted to do, we had to work. We had fish fries.
Yeah.
We had garage sales. Parents bring all their clothes up there in front of the school. We had that. We had car washes.
Getting your hands dirty, baby.
Man, we had the summer league. The summer league, where people don't understand is I did a summer league by myself. I had no help. At the end of the day, when we got done playing at 10:30 at night, I stayed until that gym was cleaned up, put up everything. Not nobody else. None of my assistant coaches helped. They left. Everybody left. I was in that gym until it was over with and clean. I knew you couldn't come in there the next day and it's dirty in there. So.
And you had to do that 3 days out of the week during the summer.
It was tough. It was tough. I didn't complain until later on, when I started hearing different things about, well, you ain't letting this coach do this, you got this and you got that. And I'm like, do you not understand that I'm in here by myself? When every year that we hosted regionals, I would come in, me, not the boys coach, not none of my assistant coaches, I would come in and I would sweep that floor, I would mop that floor. The backboards, I would get a ladder, I would wipe the goals down.
Fingerprints off of there.
All the fingerprints, everything. I put up brand new nets, you know. I made sure everything looked good because I had that East Central pride. I wanted everybody to understand this is what East Central was about. I did this year after year after year because we hosted regionals all the time.
Yeah, you did.
So,
I mean, you just got to call it what it is.
Yeah, but I wanted it to be respected. More, hey, they do a good job over here. The gym is clean. Walk in there. You know how you put the water out and all of that kind of stuff. I had no trainers doing that. I did all of that myself. If you want it done, do it right. Do it yourself. You know.
That's true.
I pull the bleachers out. I sweep under the bleachers, make sure everything is clean. You don't want no rodents running around in the game and this and that. And everybody's, ooh, that's a nasty place to go.
Yeah.
So I did that. Nobody helped me. You know, and they had cameras. You got cameras in the gym. You can see
what's happening.
What's going on. I'm up on a ladder by myself, up here stretched out, making sure that this is perfect and clean, making sure the sound system was working right. I do heating there for Tulsa Public Schools, so if it wasn't working right, boy, I was on it, making sure that our place is ready to go. So, and there's just so many things that I've had to do by myself to build that program over there. And then towards the end of the day, it hurt me because you didn't recognize what you had. You wanted to act like, oh, he's doing something wrong. He's doing something wrong. What about all of the kids that went to college? How many scholarships that we had at East Central girls basketball? Not Booker T. No disrespect to Booker T. And no disrespect to Edison or Memorial, none of the other programs that had academic greatness. But how many girls from East Central in that girls basketball program was going to state every year, going to college every year? You know, how many kids do you not understand that we work with over the summer and this and that did not get pregnant, that was able to come back and play? You know, you missed the whole point when I tell you that I was the first coach that brought in the health department to come in and talk to my girls about STDs and this and that. The parents signed off on it. It was deep. Found out a lot of our girls had drug problems and this and that and so on and so on. They couldn't tell me who it was, but they said, Mac, you need to start doing different things. You know, kids skipping school, want to go smoke marijuana, hang out and this and that and so on and so on.
Stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but I brought in the health department and they came in. Sit down and talk with our girls on the weekend or whatever, and great. It turned out great. You know, I also was. I don't know about now, but back then I was the only girls program that shut down practice on Wednesdays to do study hall. I would take the whole basketball team up to the library and be in there doing study hall.
That's a mandate in the district now with the, you know, it's crazy how it took a pandemic for that to, you know, become a standard.
But I understood what it took for kids to go to college.
Right.
Yeah, you can be great out here all day long, but if you don't have the academics to go to college,
this will be the end of it.
Yeah, it's done. So we would shut practice down on Wednesdays and go upstairs. I would shut practice down. I'm gonna keep it real. I shut practice down on Wednesday. I'm in the library by myself with them. Well, hell, a lot of the stuff I didn't know. You know, when you start, I'm old school. You start talking about chemistry, geometry. I'm looking around like.
Hey, listen, man. When the numbers turn into the alphabet, that's when I get lost.
Man,
it goes crazy.
I was done, but I had them up there.
Yeah,
you know, I had them up there. So I got a little bit wiser. I said, okay, let me go get this teacher a couple of T-shirts and this and that, and see if I can get her to help come in here and tutor. You know, this and that. So I went out and started giving out T-shirts. So I had a girl that was in Spanish. I had nobody to help me. I went down to the cafeteria worker that was a Spanish lady, gave her a T-shirt, and I said, could you please come and tutor her so we can get her, you know, to the next where she needs to be. I'll be dang gone. She came on. I gave her a couple of T-shirts. I had to give everybody in the cafeteria T-shirts, but we got it done.
It was worth it, though.
Yeah. So people don't understand when they want to point the finger and say, you're doing this and you're doing this. Okay, let's talk about what we really did do. We took a program that wasn't doing anything. Was the bottom of the pitch. Everybody was like, let's schedule East Central and let's get this win.
Let's get this win.
Let's go and get
we know we're going to get one right
here.
Got
that W, you know. So that's what was going on until I changed the culture of that and said, okay, let's win. I had some people that was behind me, Dwight Holman, Mr. Holman that came in and said, okay, Mac, I had Mrs. Holman as my assistant coach, and we got to working on some things, and then we went on down the road, and I got Gary Pitts to come in and James Asbury to come in. I had different people come. We was working.
Yeah.
Where everybody else was sitting around doing this and talking about this, we was in the gym working. And in the summertime, when they shut down in there, we was working.
Every one of those names are workers, man.
Yeah.
'Cause I know them.
Them cats, I mean, they work. And whether you love them or like them or don't love them,
Right.
whatever, the bottom line is
Can't
they
dispute
were
it.
for children, they was for the kids, and they worked their butts off. And I have to give praise to them. They done a fantastic job in the things that I asked them to do, as far as the children and this and that. Oh, top of the line. We worked. We worked Saturdays and Sundays. We was working. While you sitting at home watching football, we was in there. Girl, you better get that rebound. You better go up and squad. Let's do these things. Do it right. So we worked a little bit harder than a lot of other people to get to the top. It's just sad to me that when I went and asked for help with different issues and different problems that was going on, I never got any. As I sit here and talk to you, I sit and talk to different administrators and said, I need help. Would you tell me what I need to do? I didn't get that.
So you weren't necessarily asking for them to do anything for you. You were actually asking for information.
Right.
Or where you can go find this information.
Right.
Wow.
You know,
Still couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it. I was like, what do you recommend? What do you think? They would never say anything about, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, or besides, or just mind your own business and keep trying to do what you're doing. But I'm like, this bear is poking into my program, poking at me, poking at my kids, and this and that. What should I do? I'm asking higher administration what to do about this. Yeah, nothing ever came of that. But the first time they thought that Samy Mack did something wrong, oh, it's a flash. But Coach, I'll tell you like this. I always knew once you climb the mountaintop, once you get to the top, and once you keep beating those teams that you don't have no business beating, they can't wait to write the story about what you did wrong. You don't hear the story of how much success this program and what this program done. We do Habitat for Humanity. We're the only girls basketball team out here doing Habitat for Humanity. We're feeding the veterans. We're marching in the Veterans Parade. We're doing the disabled children's basketball. We're the only program in Tulsa Public Schools that was doing all of this. You don't hear that. But I did have videos of it, and I posted on my Facebook pages and this and that.
Yeah.
How we were doing more than just basketball.
Right.
You don't hear that story, but the first time that you won 4 state championships and they think they got something they want to talk about, you're going to be splattered all over the newspaper and everything else. That's what I did not want. And I always told people I have to walk the walk and be careful about what I do, because I know they're waiting to write that story.
Yeah. People love the story of the fall for some reason.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know what I mean? Or like to try and manipulate that.
It's always, you win a state championship, what did you do to win that state championship? Not the hard work. What corner did you cut, or who did you get to come in, or who's out here working for you to get you that kid that got you that dunk to win the state championship? It's not about what the time that you spend in the gym, that 7 days a week, 3 hours a day, that hard sweat. You walk out here, you dead tired, and you still got to take that kid home. Then you take the kid home, ain't nobody there, and then you got to find a way to feed that kid, and then
he or she got to come where you at.
They don't understand that concept, but they can say you did something wrong. I had kids didn't even have tennis shoes. Parents wouldn't dare to even think about trying. Every kid on my team wore the same tennis shoes, same warm up, same T-shirt. If I had it, they had it. I don't care what it was. I made sure that it happened. They don't understand it. They don't ever talk about that. But they want to talk about, he was recruiting and this and that. And I tell people this all the time. You're more than welcome to come into my gym and work out. One thing is, I was smart enough to, if I had to play against you and you wanted to come in my gym and work out, I'm sitting here watching you.
I get to evaluate, baby.
I evaluate you, and I evaluate your game. I find out what you can. Come on in my gym. Yeah, come on and work out.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll show you a couple of pointers. You go to Houston Pointers, and I already got you down. We got this. So I was smart enough to say, hey, come on. I had kids from everywhere in my gym. I promise you, from everywhere, every form. And when we faced them, your water got cut off. Yeah, you didn't pay your water bill, so you gets nothing.
Yeah.
So I was pretty smart on how to deal with a lot of those kids. I had a lot of parents come to me, hey, how did I get in East Central? I ain't finna get into that. You get in East Central, you get in it from somebody else and figure it out. You know, it is what. Now, I'm not going to tell you I don't want your kid because I'll be lying to you. I'll just keep it real. We coaches here.
Right.
I get a 6'9" walk in the door. No, I'm not going to tell you to go somewhere else. You know,
Don't be dumb.
Yeah, you in my gym and you in here working out. Oh, coach, I'm interested. I'll look up there and you see all them banners and this and that and so on and so on. That's my recruiting tool. The other recruiting tool was my schedule. I played an untraditional schedule. We traveled.
You had to, though. I mean, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
During that era, there were only a few good girls basketball programs in Tulsa Public Schools in the Green Country Conference.
Right.
And they were at the top.
Right.
And the middle of the pack on down, I mean, they weren't much of a challenge, man. So you had to.
Well, and you have the situation where you have Boogie T now that's playing out over in the Jinx, the Frontier Conference. I asked that question a long time ago because, like you said, we played Boogie T and Edison. Everybody else, we were just smashing out. My girls were sitting on the bench at halftime,
Right.
you know, not getting to play. And I was
Bored.
just like, why can't we play these other schools and let these schools that are coming up or trying to build their program play each other, blah, blah, blah. That guy, no. I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine. So,
We're going to continue to.
you know, so I decided to say, okay, well, I'm going to start scheduling these. We start getting recognition. Our kids started getting recognition outside of Tulsa Public Schools for their AAU stuff that they were doing, big time. And we got so much recognition where when we got ready to start practicing, we couldn't even practice because we had college coaches in there from everywhere, from Arizona, from Memphis, from Arkansas, from Kansas. They was in practice every other day, so we couldn't have a traditional practice because they wanted to see these kids work out. I had kids get scholarships that they didn't even play AAU basketball because they was in and it was just maddening. It was crazy how many people would come in.
That's intoxicating, too.
Man, listen, but the one thing that I tried to do to make that my principal, that my athletic director, that the athletic director at Tulsa Public School, I would call and say, hey, the University of Arizona is coming to school today to watch blah, 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 blah. I didn't blindside nobody. I made sure you understood who was coming. Man, this was lined up. These are D1, big time D1s. I ain't talking about Rudy Boots. I'm talking about big time.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here grinning, you know. I'm like, yeah. You ain't going over to Boogie T, your big academic school. You coming over here? Look. I got 6'3" banger right here. You know.
Yeah, so, loving that.
Yeah, I'm eating that up. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking I'm doing something good. I'm thinking that I've got the program where Tulsa Public School wants it to be. So we go out and we get ranked nationally. Tulsa, East Central got ranked nationally by USA Today. I go and show my boss. I'm like. I tell Gil Cloud and them, hey, listen, we're Tulsa Public Schools. We're representing Tulsa Public Schools. We're nationally ranked. It wasn't no hype behind that. It was no congratulations, good job, Coach Mack or whatever. Did it hurt my feelings? Yeah, it did. Yeah. But did it stop me from working? No, it did not.
Probably relit the fire. Not to say it was out, you know what I mean?
Well, I used it as motivation. You know, I'm like, okay, they ain't going to give you all the praise. Let's go win another state championship. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't nobody going to cheer you on for the success that you had. Let's go. We won more tournament of champions than any girls basketball team around here. We've won more than any of them.
What's the number? He done lost count.
I can tell you, it's in the history books. If you pull the tournament champions out there, we have more wins than any girls basketball program in the tournament champions. The sad part about it is there's not one girl from East Central High School that's been listed in the, what do they call that when they bring back the alumni or there's not.
From that tournament?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know,
I don't know what the terminology they use for it, but I remember they used to have the ceremony celebrating those players on the opening night, right?
Right. Well, when you start talking about we won the tournament of champions, and we beat Telequasa Quarrier, which had Angel Goodrich on there, and we beat them, and Val Amy should have been MVP of that tournament that year because she's 6'3", she's a banger, she did well, but you gave it to Angel Goodrich. I had a problem with that. I'm just like, we won the tournament. The MVP usually comes from the team that won it.
That's all the way up to the pros.
Yeah. And I'm just like, how you get that to...
Yeah.
Close your mouth.
Legitimate argument, though.
Yeah.
Legitimate argument.
I spoke with someone this year about that. I'm like, yeah, y'all don't understand the hurt and the pain. You got East Central girls basketball that has done more than any one of your programs, including Booker T. Mm-hmm. And you not have one girl in the Hall of Fame. Not one. Yeah. Whether it's TPS Hall of Fame, whether it's the Tournament Champion Hall of Fame, you have not one. You can damage me all day long. I'm fine with that.
You got thick skin.
I'm a grown man. I work hard. I go to work every day. Been here 36 years. I get it. If that's what your MO is to suppress that or whatever. But the kids, they're your kids. This is TPS's kids. These kids come up through your elementary programs, your middle school program, and that's what you want to do. You got people from other schools, other TPS schools, and other schools that ain't did half of the stuff that these girls have done through a 15-year period, and you don't have one kid on there. Not one. You don't even mention one kid. Not even close. And that's really sad.
And we're considering the fact that a lot of us employees in this district are products of this district.
Products.
And I'm one of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got a lot of, and it's something that I've never understood about Tulsa Public Schools athletic is, look how many people you that's flourished from Tulsa Public Schools. Mm-hmm. And then they don't come back and celebrate Tulsa Public Schools. Have you ever not figured out why? Look, we have guys and girls that come up through Tulsa Public Schools that have major success. What do you have for them in the end? At the end of the day, what do you have? You want, just like the East Central girls, you don't have one girl in that Hall of Fame, but they've won more tournaments in the Tournament of Champions. They're the first Tulsa Public School team to ever go back-to-back and win state championship, even though we went 3 years in a row. We didn't win it 3 years in a row, but we did it first. Then we did it again 3 more years after that, and then did it again. Say I cheated, say whatever. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but the babies had to play. Mm-hmm. Your kids had to play. You had to play.
Yeah.
You had to play the game. This is respect.
Get out there.
I have utmost respect for you. You went through the system. I mean, come on. All our kids went through the system, and then they talk about, this. I don't want to hear all of that. Because the bottom line is you had to make that layup. You had to get that dunk. You had to put that shot up there. You had to get in there and get hollered at and sweating and this and that and tell you, get your ass out the gym.
All
blah,
that.
blah. You went through that.
Man, that's real. You just made me think of something when I talked to Rod Thompson on the podcast about 2 weeks ago. He's sitting right where you sitting, and he said, think about this. He said, we would never ask grown adults, regular employees, or people who work in a workplace outside of sports. We would never ask them to work under the conditions that we ask our athletes to work under.
Right.
Because at your job, you ain't dealing with nobody screaming and fussing at you, and cussing at you and putting you out the place and expecting you to just keep a game face and then come back tomorrow and do it all over again. But we do that with our athletes.
We do.
So they put in a lot of work.
They do.
Sweat equity, baby.
Every kid that played for me at East Central, nobody understood why I gave Letterman's jackets at the end of their years. If you went through I don't care if you came in as a sophomore or junior. If you played for me, mm-hmm. at the end of your senior night, you were getting a Letterman. I bought all of my kids Letterman's jackets all the way through. I made sure that every kid got a Letterman's jacket. The reason why, because I appreciated them. I said, get your butt out of my damn gym and you show back up the next day ready to go.
Right.
I appreciate it. We have practice. I call practice 6 o'clock Saturday morning. I appreciate you walking through that door. For 4 years, you put up with me. That's the least I could do for you. Got your scholarship, you got a Letterman's jacket to represent that you play for the East Central Lady Cards, and they wear them proud. Mm-hmm. If I was to call them today and say, y'all put y'all jackets on and walk through this building, we'll walk around that building with Letterman's jackets.
Yeah.
That's just how many of them that got it. And that's very touching to me because I gave back to them because they gave to me. Hard work, and respect. I didn't care nothing about administration back then, nobody else. I cared about my babies because in the end, we went to war. If nobody else went to war, we went to war together. And it paid off tremendously. It's sad that it ended the way that it did, but I promise you this. If I asked one of them to run through that wall right there, they'll run through the wall.
True definition of just us. Us against everybody.
It is, when it comes right down to it. And I was kind of sour, but I'm good. I mean, I had one of my players the other day call me. She's getting married. She graduated from the University of Houston, Shea Brown.
I remember that name.
Big girl, powerful dude.
Yeah.
Man, well, man.
Oh, yeah.
What really got me was, one, there was a coach that told her she wasn't going to be shit. Told her she wasn't going to be nothing.
Really?
I said, Shay, all you got to do is just do what I'm telling you to do.
With no context on it? It's like you ain't going to be shit unless or if?
No. She was at middle school, and he was the coach, and she didn't want to practice the way he wanted her to practice. Sometime he this and that or whatever.
Kids.
You ain't going to be blah, blah, blah. I took her under my wing, went to the University of Houston, graduated, getting married, and I'm just like, matter of fact, I told her mom, I said, you make sure you remember, tell her that you're not going to be nothing. And she says, well, what do you mean? Because I said, do you not remember the conversation that me, you, and her had when she came and said that coach told her she wasn't going to be nothing special? I have a young lady named Lauren Billy. They gave her all kind of problems in this and graduated, went to UTA. I got a Division I scholarship. I tell people about it, people really crazy about Chelsea Dungy finishing up at the University of Arkansas right now. If you guys only knew what that child went through and what her mom loved shot to death, but she was so crazy, man. She ding. You gonna look like you gonna talk crazy to the coach. Ding.
Yeah, there you go.
You back in the day, you know what we got.
That's right.
You were not able to disrespect anybody.
None. And you could be dealt with by more than just your parents.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People forgot about that, and I keep telling people, your kids talking about, I'll call DHS and call DHS on me. Yeah. But you're going to get this love. Because we can never forget about the way and a lot of these people that are administrators and this and that, you got that same love back in the day. Why y'all trying to play this role?
Right.
It's real. You want to have a solid program and be good, you got to have discipline. And the discipline is, if I allow a kid to come in here and tell me I can't come to practice today because I got to work or I got a cold, and okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you go to work today, but you better be at practice tomorrow. You come in tomorrow. Well, they put me on the schedule. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me have a conversation with your boss. I'm gonna call. I call your boss, and your boss, me and your boss, gonna get on the same schedule. If you want to go to college, this is what we're gonna do. I got girls. I got them jobs. I had girls working at Jiffy Lube changing oil, dude.
At Jiffy Lube.
Yes, sir. I went to Scoop. Scoop was a big. Me and him was just like this.
Right.
He owns Jiffy Lube, and we went there, and I said, man, I got a couple of girls that's struggling in life. They need a job. Well, I'm thinking that they're gonna be desk people, welcome people in and take cash money and this and that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Something nice and light.
They come to me about a month later talking about, Coach, I can change your oil. I'm like, what you mean? Yeah, we changing oil up here. We be changing oil. I'm like, he got y'all changed. He said, no, we want to do this. We learning how to do change oil and this and that.
Okay.
Put her in the tire and all this. I'm like, I got them doing it all, dude.
Yeah. Now, let me be honest with me. How comfortable were you pulling on up there and having them change your oil?
I was worried if they was gonna put in the transmission fluid.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool, man.
Right.
I had kids do I had kids working on lawn services and just different things. I would call a lot of my friends and I'd be like, man, Mario was great. I would call Mario. I said, Mario, I need some girls to get some jobs. They need some money, this and that. Wingstop, he would hire them on the spot. He's old East Central alumni. We had so many positive things that were going on, even with Tulsa Public School. Tulsa Public Schools was remodeling schools and this and that. We would go out and put the schools back together. My program, we would put desking and wiping and doing all of this. We had just so much going on, and I just, at the end of the day, I was just like, what are y'all talking about? Is it that bad? I mean, is it really that bad? You trying to damage me? But what about all the good that these kids have done? And nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's looking at that.
They're not talking about it.
I'm going to say something to you that my mentor, Terry Scott, he said.
Love Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, that's my guy, dude.
Oh, yeah. And he feels the same way about you. But he said something to me after his tenure at Muskogee ended. He's like, hey, Dave, He said, "You're always gonna turn into a lot better coach after you're gone."
Right.
And I was like, it took that statement a minute to resonate with me. I was like, I wonder what he means by that. And what he was really saying was, some of the same people that had some not so flattering things to say about you, once you're not there anymore, and this new era that they thought they were looking forward to, it's not feeling the same way it felt under your instruction, or maybe the program's not flourishing like it was under your instruction. People see you out and go, "Man, we sure ain't like when you were over there, man. We sure miss you, man."
Right.
Have you run into any of that?
Run on all the time. I'm not gonna brag, but I will tell you this: there will never ever be another East Central girls basketball program the way that we had it. I mean, they were coming in here. We were every year projected to be number one. Every year, I had the X on my back, and then when we was number two, I was mad. They was, "What you mean we number two? We just spanked them," and
Right.
But it will never be, because nobody really ever understood what I had to do to make that program be the way that it is. The long nights that I spend in the gym, hell, it would rain. It'd be a rainstorm to come through, and it'd be raining through the windows. I stay there and mop it up and sweep it and everything, and so on and so on. For your program to be the program that you want it to be, you got to do it. You can't ask your assistant coach to do it. You can't ask your principal to do it. You know what you want, you got to do it. I sold out for 17 years that I was over there. I sold out, and I gave everything that I had: money, time, effort, cold, sick, whatever. I was there for 17 years, and I worked my butt off. I worked hard, and I'm not talking about trying to recruit a kid. I'm talking about taking care of the kids that were in my program. Every kid went to college. Nobody can say that.
Every one of them.
Every last kid, even my trainers, I pushed them to go to college. No, you're going to college. We're going to get this education. We're going to go to college. East Central was never known for academics. I had kids that was all-state academic. No praise for that. No congratulations. Hey, look, it was bad. The academics, they started calling East Central athletics was called. I can't remember. They had a name for it or whatever, and they're just like, you want to be this and that. You want to go to East Central Athletics, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wow, y'all really doing it like that? A person can be dumb and go play football or basketball for East Central. Is that what you're trying to say? It really hurt me, but in my deal, I changed our culture. I said, we're going to be academic sound. So what a lot of people don't even understand, those 3 state championships that East Central girls track team won, those are East Central girls basketball. I kicked them out of the gym, Coach Gordon. I said, "Here, take them," because I knew he was going to work them.
Yeah.
So there wasn't no sitting around. He was working. They won 3 state championships in track. Nobody understood that. I worked with him to get that. Now, did some coaches get mad at me? Yes, sir. They did. The volleyball coach got mad at me because I wouldn't push him to go play volleyball. Well, I go in the gym and I look at the volleyball today in the stands, laughing and giggling and all of that.
Yeah.
We ain't getting no work. I'm not finna conduct that. No, we're not. I'm not doing that.
So you ain't condoning that.
No, we're not doing that. I'm not finna go in here and tell on you that you're not doing anything with your volleyball girls and you're not here half of the time. I'm just not gonna indulge in that. We'll go in this back gym and be working on our days and this and that. I'll have my whole group together and we'll just do. But
did you ever run into a situation where some athletes, maybe from like a volleyball or from another sport, that played whatever that other sport is and basketball, getting to the point to where they were like, "Yo, we just want to stay in basketball," because your program, just sucked them in like that? I
didn't even have to worry about it. When they came in and signed up for basketball, they knew they was in basketball. We didn't talk about nothing else. It wasn't nothing else. You talking about a state championship every year. You talking about going to tournament champions, winning tournament champions every year. You talking about traveling, going to play here and playing there. It wasn't I didn't even have. I never had that problem. One year I did. I had a young lady come in and she was really just a great kid, great athlete, academically sound or whatever, but she came from another school and she had played volleyball at that other school. But their volleyball team was good, and I was like, "What makes you want to stay out here? Y'all ain't even practicing today. Look at you sitting in the stand."
Oh, man.
And I finally got her mom and them on board and got them to understand, I'm not down in the volleyball, but she ain't going to college in volleyball. She's going in basketball. Wind up getting to the state tournament, got to go to 4 state championships in a row. How many kids can say that?
Not very many.
I mean, when you was in school, how many times did you go to the state championship?
Once.
I had every year that I was there, except for 2 years, 3 years, my girls went to either to the state semifinals or the state championship. How many kids can say they went to state every year? We went every year.
Y'all didn't just go to the tournament. You went to the final game.
We went to state. We went to the final game or the semifinals.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand. I had players. Some of my main players got torn ACLs. Bria Pitts tore ACL 3 years in a row.
She did.
That's 20
and could play.
Yeah, 20
man.
points a game. No, that was my baby. She tore her ACL. And I come back after Bria and them graduate, Marcia and Darian and all of these people. They messed their legs up. Darian had lupus. Like I said, Marcia tore her ACL. Then I had the problem with, like I said, I brought the health department in. They started telling me about some of the things that was going on with my kids, and not telling me about the kids, but hey, man, you need to look at this and that. Yeah, so I was dealing with all of that stuff, and I was trying to hold it all together. I had no help. I had great assistant coaches. They did what they needed to do, assistant coach. But being in that mental part of it, dealing with this kid and that kid and dealing with the administration, I didn't have none of that. So my deal was I was close-knit with my kids and their parents. I'll call you up and say, listen, you got to start spending more time with your child besides basketball. Let's take the basketball out of the equation and listen to what they're telling you, because they got some issues that's going on that ain't basketball.
Man.
And I would bring them in and I say, well, this is what we got to do here. She needs more love than basketball. Yeah, y'all talk about the layup she missed. She talking about this boy over trying to get in her ear.
Yeah.
You got to, let's break it down.
You got to have some credibility in your position to do something like that.
It was tough.
Was it?
It was tough because man,
you telling me how to parent?
I'm telling you how to parent and telling you what's going on with my kid. What you doing and this and that. Okay.
Coaches are like your top 2 or 3 influences in your life as a kid.
And they're going to catch a lot of stuff that you ain't going to catch because you got too much going on in your life at home anyhow. You cooking, you going to work every day.
Siblings.
You coming home, your siblings and this and that. But I'm telling you right now, she like Johnny Joe over here and they about to go make a baby.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you need to get a hold of your kid, blah, 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 blah. And they, everybody that I talked to came to me and said, Coach Mack, thank you. Thank you. I was expecting, you need to mind your own business. She ain't doing this, she ain't doing that, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just breaking it down to you. I'm telling you, you can, 2 years from now, getting ready to graduate, you'll be walking with a full belly. I'm just telling you, you need to take your kids. Your kids smoking dope. You don't know. You don't know because when you come home, you tired and this and that, you in the room, about to go to sleep. Hey, they already done what they gonna do.
Yep. There's too much time unaccounted for with kids.
I mean, we boys. You got your bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit, we going over here and go kick it over here and look at the females. Blah blah. Come home. My mom and daddy already in bed. I'm toasted. I'm like,
yeah. I didn't get up and do this tomorrow.
Yeah, forget this. Forgot to take the trash out. Whatever.
But we laughing about it. But these are real issues that we deal with all the time. The game don't change. Kids are kids, no matter the era.
It is real. You're a young coach, upcoming, got some good things going. You got great administration over here.
That's a fact.
That they understand the concept of our kids, what's going on with our kids. I hate it that Tulsa Public Schools don't understand. I'm putting a computer over here. That's a brand new spanking computer. Oh, that's great. I did a great job for Tulsa Public School, not understanding that this kid didn't even eat breakfast today. This kid is struggling with just trying to put clothes on. But because Tulsa Public School, you bought this brand new computer and you put this here, that's supposed to be a great thing you did for the kid and the community over here. What about him struggling, not eating? What about his parents not being at home? What about him not having somebody to call and say, hey, I need some help? But you're happy because you put this computer over here, or a brand new gym over here, or a brand new state. We're doing. What about the needs of the children that you guys keep forgetting? These kids need help. All our kids need help. White, black, Mexicans, whatever, they all need it. They all struggling. Why you think so many kids are leaving the district?
That's not by accident.
It's not. And everything that you used to have in place, they're using it against you on the outside. You used to have TJAA. TJAA used to start down in elementary and this and that and so on all the way through. Guess what? Union, Jinx, Broken Arrow, Support, and all of them, they got that elementary program. They got those programs where those kids are playing football, playing basketball, playing soccer.
From knee high all
from
the way
the
up.
knee all the way up. Guess what we have? Nothing. and you continue to want to say, Coach Daniels, you doing something wrong over here.
We don't know what it is. We're going to get to it.
We're going to get to the bottom of it. You got the girl from over here or the guy from over here in McLean talking about he want to come to Central, but we're going to find out what the deal is. Over here at Union, over here at Jinx, Sapulpa, Sand Spring, they're taking all our kids. Look at Owassa's football program. Come on.
They got a lot of products of our community.
Look at Sand Springs. And I ain't pouring salt on them. Congratulations.
No,
because you're doing what it takes to be
build a
champions.
program.
Yeah. You open your doors and you're saying, okay, let's work. I don't care about all of that pointing that finger stuff. We over here, you get a new kid. Oh, you get documentation. Let me go check and see if you live here. Let's go do this. Let me see what's going on. Oh, you did something wrong. Oh, you told this kid that you like him. Oh, that is violation. Right? I'm gonna suspend you. I got suspended for a tournament. Now, I'm gonna give you this one. This was really crazy. I got suspended for a tournament. We was down in Arkansas. The day before, I got called and says, you're suspended for the first game. I'm like, for what? What did I do? Well, you had a girl that just came out of volleyball that you brought into the program, and you let her play in the game, and she was ineligible. I said, whoa, wait
Academically ineligible?
She was academically ineligible.
Okay.
I said, wait a minute. I don't get power school. My athletic director gives me the grades and say, okay, this child is eligible to play.
You get the eligibility report from
Yeah, so when the eligibility report came in, he signed off for her to play in girls basketball. Her name was not on that list. So she didn't even play in the varsity game. She played in a JV game. Not a varsity, a JV game.
Right.
Now, I can understand. I didn't even coach her. So they suspended me, and they tell me, well, you head of the program. So with that being said, this is in the same year. With that being said, I knew that something was up. So who suspends a coach that's been to all of these state championships for a JV girl playing in a JV game? So you're getting your paperwork together, you're documenting and stuff. This is what he had done wrong.
Getting that exit strategy together.
Yeah, you're getting all of that stuff. Come on, the JV. And what people don't even know, that's 5 people go to a JV game. I wasn't even at the JV game. I mean,
he said 5.
We have 5 people at the JV game.
Oh man.
I don't never go to the JV games. Yeah, do I get everything set up? Yeah, but I don't go to the JV. I show up for the varsity games and blah 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 blah. So I say, yeah, this kid can play, whatever, but I go off of the eligibility list that I got. Well, I think she may have played 2 or 3 minutes because she had just came out of volleyball. Matter of fact, 2 nights before she had just played in a volleyball game. So how's she ineligible?
In the same week.
In the same week. But you didn't do nothing to the volleyball coach. But you attacked me. And what I never told nobody this. I just took the suspension and said, okay. But I already.
Just for one game.
One game. But see, I had put everything in P's and Q's together. I know where you were going with all of this. You were starting your process of trying to say, okay, he's doing this wrong. He's doing this wrong. He's doing this wrong. I have never been brung into Gil Cloud's office or Mike Crace's office or the superintendent's office and was never written up to say that I did anything wrong. Never. You have documentations when somebody does something wrong, you sign out, you got it, blah, blah, blah. Now, have I ever been talked to and questioned about different stuff? Yes, I have.
A meeting.
Yeah, but to sign documentation saying that I've done something wrong? Never. Never.
And do you think it's like some out with the old, in with the new kind of mentality? Because I look at guys, I'm going to compare you to some of the coaches on the boys' side that were at their programs for a long time and had a great run, but the end was so messy it almost tarnished some of their legacy, or the attempt to was just so distasteful. Yourself, the late, great Nate Harris toward the end of his tenure at Booker T, Terry Scott, the end of his tenure here at Central. I'm like, what am I missing here? These guys did so much good, not just from an athletic standpoint, but just having, their overall influence on the student body. In a lot of ways, your presence is bigger than who's running the show in that building. Right. Because people rock with Coach Mack. Right. People rock with Coach Harris. They rock with Coach Scott. Like, what do you think that is? What do you chalk it up to?
You said something that was really important. You named 3 people. First of all, Terry Scott, Coach Harris, legends.
Yes.
Legends.
No doubt.
Luther Piggies, legend.
Piggies,
Mike Bolton, legends. For Tulsa Public Schools.
Yes.
Backbones.
Coach Piggies taught my father back in elementary.
Legends.
Yeah.
But where credit is due, credit is not going to be given. Now, they named Nate Harris Fieldhouse after him, but it was a battle. It was something that shouldn't even be in.
It was a no-brainer, man.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
You know, legendary. Period. You know, T. Scott, the things that T. Scott done over here, he had gym clothes behind him and all of that. Come on, man, that's my guy. I watched him. I mean, I'm like, there we go. Here we go. You know, I was all about the old school. Yeah. Nate Harris coached me when he was at Edison before John Phillips came over there. You know, I've been under legendary coaches.
Yeah.
Now, I've had some, and I'm just like, why does Tulsa Public Schools always want to give their coaches black eyes? Why do they want to put this stuff out here, this mess out here? You know, it took Stephanie Springs coming down on Alan Trimble for anything that ever happened to Alan Trimble. Not to say that Alan Trimble was a bad man. I like Alan Trimble. I thought he did a hell of a job. Matter of fact, a great job, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But Tulsa Public Schools has always had their net about trying to embarrass their own coaches. Why? I don't understand, because you don't pay us enough to deal with what we got to deal with. You know, I've had parents come up here and just flat out cuss me out. You sorry, mother, blah, 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 blah. But I just fed your kid and took care of your kid. You know,
How quickly they forget, right?
So I got the parents, you got all the naysayers out here, and then you got Tulsa Public School ready to come right behind you and try to smear you. Why? For what reason?
Yeah, it's like when you do that, is you're airing your own dirty laundry, and it looks like we don't have our house in order. Well, and when I say our, I'm talking about the district.
Right. I've said this all along, and when I was coaching at East Central, I had the biggest summer league, I had the biggest high school scrimmage, and I used to try to get Tulsa Public Schools to come together and say, make it Tulsa Public Schools. I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired. I had teams coming from Oklahoma City. I had teams coming from everywhere coming to play in the summer league and in the scrimmage, and I tried to make it. And the one thing that I tried to get all of the coaches to understand, everybody like, Mac, how you doing this? How you doing that? And so, come on, we can all do this. We all benefit. I'm not trying to beat you. We family. It's TPS.
Yeah.
You know, now if one of your kids leave and come over here, and I learned this early because Darlene called me one day and she says to me, Samy Mack, I got a girl coming to your school, blah, 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 and gave me all her history and so on and so on. I told Darlene, thank you. I had a girl come from McLean. I called Coach Johnson. I said, Coach Johnson, this girl's been working over here in the summertime. She moved right around the corner. I'm telling you right now, I'm not recruiting your girl. I'm not trying to steal your girl. You know, called Coach Johnson. He talked to Stephanie Springs. They made a deal up together where when she came to East Central, she played for East Central, could not play against McLean. I'm cool with it. I ain't had nothing to do with it anyhow, so.
That's something I've never heard of. I never heard of such a stipulation, but all right. At least y'all got it rectified, I guess.
Then I had another girl that at the end of the year that we won state, she left McLean to come over here. And I think they think that I had something to do with that. I didn't even know the kid. But because anybody that come and play for Samy Mack, he got to be in recruiting them. It ain't because the program is good. Hell, he ain't done something wrong to get another kid. Well, damn, I've been coaching for 15 years at the girls' basketball. Mick, I was your assistant coach at boys. I had Prentice Elliott, Quentin Chaney. I had all of them cats that throw the ball over on the rim and it's going to be racked. You know, we've traveled the country and beat. And you knew I had all of those people. I ain't going to even go into all of that, but I'm just telling you, you knew. And at one time, they thought all of them were coming to East Central. They thought every last one. I was like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. And that was another reason that I stopped coaching boys. I switched to girls because I got tired of hearing that. I got tired of hearing that they were coming to East Central, that I was recruiting them. I had coaches that was on the high school boys level going up to Stephanie Springs, swearing up and down that I'm getting all of these kids to come to East Central. Oh, we just won the BCI Nationals. We just went down and played in the pump and run out in California. We just done all of this. All of this success. And they was afraid that all those kids was going to come to East Central. Not one of those kids came to East Central.
That's right. And now that you're in that ballpark, why don't you run off some of those names on that loaded Tulsa Junior Hurricane team that you had during that time? Now, you mentioned Quentin Chaney, you know what I'm saying, a good friend of mine, next door neighbor growing up, Prentice Elliott, good brother.
Yeah, Alvin Barnett, went to University of Colorado.
Right.
Boy, man, there's so many of them.
So many of them, you know what I mean?
But you understand because you was in that realm where you was playing against these kids and understand who we're talking about. We're talking about the elite of the elite.
That's
We're
right.
talking about every kid that I had on my AAU team was all staters.
Yes.
That's not just 1 year. That second year, the kids that came behind me, Eric Payne and all of those kids, John.
Who was another problem, boy, in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, Parker from Jacob Parker from Bigsby, Andrew Wilson, monster. Man, we smashed teams that had $1,000 behind them. They were flying players in and this and that.
Yeah.
We go out and just beat them up.
Yeah.
And both groups. And when you start talking about them Tulsa Junior Hurricane, everybody was like, I had a tournament that I brought here. I had 160 teams come here, 160 teams. We took up East Central. We had Central. We had Nathan Hill. We had champions when they had bad champions here. I brought Damon Gibson here, Keisha Cole's husband. Mike Conley that plays for. I brought him here.
Mike Conley Jr., Daniel Gibson. He got some names coming through.
Man, we turned Tulsa out, dude. There was so many people. The fire marshal came in and had to shut the gym down. And I'm telling you, when I tell you that was good old basketball back in the day, that was basketball. We didn't have all of that old wine and he got this player, they got that player and this and that. We was doing this in the summertime. Oh, dude, it was so unreal. I had some big-time ball players come in here, and not one of them, I can call some of them today and they would come here for me. Yeah. Conley would come here. Conley taught me how to do the AAU stuff because we were pretty apprenticing them. They were pretty good. We was smashing everybody out here. We went down to Arkansas and played the Arkansas Wings. They beat us like we was standing still. They beat us by 40. I'm like,
no, not the 40 piece.
He 40 me. He 40 piece me. He pressed me the whole entire game all the way to the end. And after the game, he came over to me and he looked me in the eye and he said, Coach Mack, I don't mean no disrespect, but if you're gonna play on this level, you got to get your kids right. I thought I had my kids right because we was running around Tulsa beating up on everybody.
But you finally took your show on the road.
I had to see what it was really about. Man, they dubbed us.
Yeah, twice.
Hey, look, but 6 months later, when I seen them again, I gave them the business.
Yeah.
It was business then. It was like, come on, let's do this. We ran them off the court. When they came here to our tournament, we ran them off the court. We ran Daniel Gibson played for the H-Town Ballers. They came in the gym with this big boom box. H-Town Ballers in the house. I mean, the gym was rocking. They had for Houston here. I'm like, oh, they got all the Houston here. And it was just mad. Dude.
It was a
just
show.
Like, it was like big old high school game. Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was packed. The fire department came in. They shut the game down. You got too many people in here.
So y'all didn't even get to play it?
No, we finished.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to clear the doorways out. It's standing room only.
Y'all take care of them that game too?
No, they beat us, no. He got out of town with a win, Then Gibson doing this at the end. See y'all later, Tulsa. Dude, okay, I'll be down to Houston, though. I'm coming.
You got to love that atmosphere.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's great. When I get beat, I didn't complain. If you beat me, I didn't complain. I didn't go over there and say, you got three all-star, three kids from over here playing. I didn't do that.
You never asked the other coach to call the dogs off and they running it up on you?
No.
I respect that, man.
No, we got to learn.
We got to get better.
You got to learn. And some of the whoopings I took, I made us get whooping because our head had got like this. So I'll sit one or two players, God, come on. Yeah. It's what you do at the end. Because by doing that, those kids developed and had an opportunity to get better. So it was never about that for me. Yeah. All the years that I coached, and even when I had Prentice and them, because Prentice and them, they just want to just embarrass you. Right. Like you're 30 and they still want to throw alley oops and be hanging on the rim and stuff. And man, y'all got to have respect for the game.
Yeah.
Tone it down, bring it back down. You already up.
Yeah, and I told we opened up our season the other night over here at Central against Hale, and we ended up beating them pretty good, and we ended up finishing the game with the last possession, and it was like maybe 25 seconds. I called a timeout and told the boys, I said, hey, not another shot. And of course I had to put a stipulation on it. If you do, this is what I'm gonna do to you. But I had to explain to him that class part that you just spoke about. You want to win with class just like you want to lose with class. And I said, as competitive, if you're on the other end of that ass whooping and you see another player trying to sneak one more bucket on you, what you gonna do to him? Right. One of these type fouls right here. I'm trying to help you not hurt yourself. Right. And I think they understood it. Right. So they didn't take another shot. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. But the natural competitor, if I would have turned them loose, I would have been a party till the buzzer went off. Right. Well, that respectability, I mean, you got to have respect. Our kids, and no offense to Central or McLean or whatever, they always want to look at us, oh, that's ghetto, I don't want to go over there. No,
Well, we got kids that are respect. We got coaches that work hard with this. Y'all got to take that stigma off. I get tired of hearing all of that. I've never ever tried to run the score up on anybody. Now there was one team that I wanted to. I never got a chance to play them. That was Bishop Kelly. I wanted to do that to them in the playoffs because she kept ranking us like 18th and 19th.
Oh,
and
man.
They was the world's worst, and they was ranking us way down there. And when I get her, I told Mike Brown one day, I said, if I get a hold of her, it's over.
It's going
to be ugly. And then you can go on and rank me down there. But I knew a lot of times that my team was a lot better. I set my kids down at halftime. My starters never even went back in the game and stuff. So it was. I have respect for the game. I have respect for Tulsa Public Schools. I didn't ever want, when we played an outside school, I never wanted anybody to call and say we was classless. No. So I know we had a lot of people at different tournaments that would write in to Tulsa Public Schools because I would get a copy of the letter stating how good our girls acted, first class, blah, blah, blah. Hotels that we stayed in, hey, they did a great job, so on and so on. So with that being said, man, it is what it is. God has a bigger plan for all of us.
That's a fact.
At the end of the day, He has a bigger plan for us. And right now, I love kids to death. And nothing changed about me with the love and the kids. I just still have that little sour taste in my mouth about what went on over there that shouldn't have went on, especially when I was asking you for help. That's just the bottom line to it. But as far as the rest of the kids, I had a coach the other day call me and asked me would I come in and show them how to do my press and this, and I said, that's going to cost you $5, dog. I just don't give up like that.
$5. That's easy, baby. You know you love that.
Give me that $5 because I'm going to show you a press that's going to win you some state championships.
That's real.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. You talked about one side of it. Let's talk about the other side. Let's say, you built your program up. I'm putting you back at East Central in my mind. You past respectability. All right, you're the class of 5A girls basketball for the majority of your reign. Did you ever run into, losing some of your athletes because it's like, okay, we want to go and play some big-time basketball at a bigger school. Let's get pushed. Let's get challenged. Did you ever run into any of that? Did you lose athletes because they like, okay, it's a traffic jam over here at East Central?
No.
No, okay.
I never lost because I always played the schedule that. I played the big-time schools. So they wanted to be there, even if they were just on the bench and being a part of it or practicing to get ready for it. Well, we went and played. We played number one teams like 3 years in a row in the country. We played Hoover, Alabama, which is a private school that
Very
gets
familiar.
Dude, 6'4", 6'3". They got girls going up on the rim, grabbing the ball. We played them. We played Hoover. We played a team out of St. Louis that was ranked number one. We played Blackman, Tennessee. They kids going to Connecticut and stuff like that, And I'm like, this is where we want to be. I don't care nothing about Booker T, Edison, Sapulpa, Sand Springs. I don't care about the state championship because you will never play in the state championship what you're playing right here.
Right.
We're playing big time. We played Hoover, Alabama down in Tennessee. There was so many college coaches there to come watch a high school game. And I'm just like, sure, we represent TPS, we represent East Central. Man, we was battling Hoover, Alabama for a whole half. We was up at halftime. I'm walking in there.
You feeling good.
Chest stuck all like, that ain't number one. Look what we doing to them. They come out there and put their will on us, and I'm like, ooh-wee.
So that's why they number one.
Yeah, you have a coach sit down and be like, okay. Ain't nothing you can do about it. They went ballistic on us the second half. I'm like, And I had the best players around here, dude.
Yeah.
They stuck into us. Me and Mike Brown got into Oregon one day. I said, there ain't a kid in the state of Oklahoma girls basketball can play with these kids outside of the state. He said, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, let's go down here and you can see Blackman, Tennessee. Now, I had a young lady named Jamie Asbury, the bomb. Jet up and down. The problem. Man, this girl from that was going to Connecticut. Now, Jamie was a little hurt. And she blew past Jamie. I was like, wait. No, nobody does that to Jamie. Nobody.
Back home.
Nobody. This girl, and she pulling up when she come across half court. She pulling up. Think. We ain't seeing that. You got to get close to the 3-point line. She pulling up way out here laughing about it.
Wow.
Then they got a 6'3", 6'4", and they're just batting people's stuff. Batting and getting out. Hey, blah. And they passing the spot and they finishing at the goal. I'm like,
whoa, this is different, huh?
I said, but this is where you want to be.
Levels to it.
This is what you want to be. You want to go big time, this is what you want to do. Or you can go back to this popcorn thing over here and be like, we beat Booker T, hey. We beat Edison, hey. Or you can get out here and say, okay, let me battle them. Let me get better. Let the scholars come over here and watch us play. When I start having 15, 20 Division I college calling me wanting to come in and practice, We almost there, boss.
Yeah,
We
we're
there.
getting there.
Yeah,
and it's just the beginning. It ain't gonna stop.
I mean, by word of mouth. I can't sign her, but look, you Mike can use this. He got a 6'2" point guard over there, can stroke it, blah blah blah. She's just not quick enough for what we got. You know, they passing the word around. Now I get college coaches calling me. Man, I had so many emails. I couldn't even get in my emails, dude. It was just, it was crazy. And I'm talking about East
blowing
Central.
you up.
We're talking about East Central.
Yeah.
East Central.
Not the darlings of the district.
No, not by anywhere close. And why would a division? Why would Memphis State? Why would Tennessee want to come over here and see anybody at East Central? And I'm just steady telling my principal and Gil and all of them, hey, University of Washington is here. Washington from where? They here, Arizona State. Arizona State's in there. They come way over here. This is East Central now. They ain't going to Booker T. Academics. Oh, but Booker T. No, they at East Central.
Right.
And I promise you, I've taken them in there. You the principal coach. Hey, he's from Arizona State. Coach, hey, this is my principal, my boss. Blah blah blah. Shaking hands, and I'm just like, ooh wee. We doing it. We doing what we're supposed to be doing. What else is it to do? That's what you think that they would want your program to flourish. Put your kids in college, academically sound, be respectful. What else you want? Because there's always going to be haters. I don't care what you do. You win 10 state championships. There's going to be haters out there that saying that you're doing something wrong. They're going to point the finger. They're going to even try to make it, that you're doing something wrong. Too
much success.
It's crazy, man. When I got done with East Central, I went over to KIP. And I started coaching the KIP girls. We won the 8th grade championship when I got there with a bunch of 7th graders. As they was getting ready to start.
Just a winner, man.
Somebody called in and said that I was taking girls from East Central to come to KIP because KIP was getting ready to start a high school program. And then they said there was somebody from here that's dad is an Uber driver, said that I was trying to recruit their kid. Well, you know what, I sit there and I told him, I said, I'm really not going to comment on that, but I'm going to tell you like this. With the success that you have, no matter where you go, everybody wants to be a part, whether it's good or bad. I don't know nobody that drives an Uber car, and I don't even know your kid. Your kid probably boo-boo anyhow. But you want your kid to be in the limelight and say, Coach Daniels is recruiting my kid, blah, blah, blah. You don't know the kid. You ain't never seen the kid. Just to make it where your kid may be interested, let me say that you did this. Let me say that you did it. I had that going on all the time. I don't even know half of the people because I don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I go to work, gym, I go to work and go home. That's it. I don't go to nobody else's gym and be looking at nobody's kid. I don't care. If you come to my gym, I'm going to watch you because like I said, told you earlier, I'm going to learn your game.
Then I'm going to figure out how to beat you.
That's just come. Yeah, y'all want to come over and work out today? Yeah, sure. Come on.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit over here.
You know how many middle school teams that the floors was getting done and this and that, and they needed a place to practice, and would call me and ask me could they get in the gym? I said, yeah, come on. I'll sit up in the bleachers and watch because I'm looking at you practicing over here, but you go to you're going to Memorial or you're going to Booker T next year and this and that. I need to see what's going on there. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I've seen all these things.
I'm good. Going on over there. I'm good.
Yeah. Now let's talk some basketball stuff because you've been on both ends of the spectrum in terms of winning championships and then losing in that final game. When your girls lose that final game, now there's nothing soothing enough that you can go in there and say as a coach that's going to ease their pain, but you got to say something. So what are you going in and you say to those girls after a run that they're going to feel like nothing that they did up to that point matters since they lost that last one?
My seniors, I would always tell them, get ready for life. This is over. I don't need you to cry because you had a fantastic year. I know you're hurting inside and there ain't nothing I can do to take that away. Nothing at all. But what I can do is try to get you ready for the next thing in life. That's what's real, because as you walk out of this door and you got to go to class that next Monday or whatever, and you're going to hear that you lost or this and that, that's over with. You got to start preparing yourself for life and what's coming down the road. You got a scholarship, it's time to start working. My kids that were coming back, y'all see the expression on them seniors' face? We got to work harder. It's unacceptable. And these teams that have beaten us, they beat us. We get a chance to get back. Y'all get a chance to get back at it. Your seniors don't get a chance to get back at it.
It's done now.
It's done. It's over. There's nothing that you can do. So, with that being said, I just tell them, hard work's pay off. If you want to sit around and mope about it and point the finger at this and point the finger at that, you're not going to get any better. Accept the challenge, and let's go back to work. Mm-hmm. Let's take a week off. I gave him a week off, and then after that week, we were back in the gym 24/7. Let's go.
You didn't have to motivate him at that point.
No kid. Anytime that we lost the state championship, it was not hard to get because they had got used to being a winning program. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's go. They would call me, Coach, you open the gym today? I had girls call me on Sunday evening. Can I get on the shooting machine, blah, blah. Matter of fact, I was probably one of the first coaches about a shooting machine in the district. I mean, we stayed in the gym. And, yeah, my coaches challenged me a lot, too. Mac, we can't do this. We can't do that. I said, I'll be damned. Watch us. Watch us. We can't run this. I'll be damned. Watch us.
Watch us.
I bet you we get it done.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, we can't stop her. This girl, too. Watch me.
Ooh-wee.
I'm going to let her get to a point. I'm going to cut her water off. She ain't coming back the other way because I've got something waiting on her.
Yeah.
They understood the system. Mm-hmm. That was just big for us, So
how about, when you got a team that's riding high, right, and been winning, been running through people, outside of, playing some of those exhibition games and tournaments that are out of the state, eventually we got to, whether we love it or hate it, we got to get back to conference play. What do you do to keep your girls interested and reset them? Because you probably ain't gonna suffer a loss that's gonna reset them on its own. You got to be, creative as a coach to figure out a way to kick them in the ass again. How do you do that?
That was one of the toughest things that I've ever had to do as a coach. After going to play this level up here and then come back and play Nathan Hale, not Nathan Hale, or come back to play Rogers back then, or come back to play Central back then, or whatever. It was so hard. They wouldn't work. We knew we could throw the ball out there and just beat teams and this and that. So what nobody ever understood is this. I wouldn't practice against us. I go in there and I'll tell Coach Morgan, bring me the JV boys in here.
Yes, sir.
We go in there, we scrimmage against the JV boys every day to keep that level up there. And we beating the JV boys. So he would get mad and he'll bring the varsity boys in there. And you know what I would tell him? This is no lie. And you can ask him, you can ask Brian Morgan, you can ask any of them. Make them play us like they boys.
Yeah.
I don't care if you knock them down. Make them play us like boys. You better not pick one of them up if you knock them down. They need to understand. They responded to that. They respond, Coach, we're going to scrimmage the boys today. No, we're going to work on this. Oh, Coach, we need to get them boys. We need to get at them boys. I was loving that.
Yeah. So you got them foaming at the mouth now.
Oh, dude, they were playing the boys. They didn't care if they lost. They were just in there. I said, okay, I would tell them, if one of them boys go down the lane and y'all don't give them the business and this and that, all across the head and this and that. I just say, dude, y'all just letting them beat y'all up like that. Coach, that girl, I said, look at them like this. Give it back to them so they'll understand. My girls had fear nothing. Nothing.
You couldn't scare them at all.
Oh, dude, freshman boys, we dog them. We beat them. Get on out. JV boys, we started grabbing them by the college. Brian bring them big boys in. They just beat up on us. Dink.
Yeah.
Mac, is that what you want? Yes, give me some more of it.
Yeah.
Press us where we can't get the ball. Make us hate ourselves. And I finally got them to understand, the boys understand. Do them girls say, oh, shit, we have basketball heaven going on over there. It didn't matter. Hey, you need a girl to fill in your practice today. All right. We was at that level. We could get out there with them boys and say, okay, we ain't gonna miss a beat. And if you go to, you gonna get this.
Yeah.
You go to the hole, we gonna give you that. Stop crying.
Yeah.
And to turn around, look at the girl next to you, look at him like, stop crying. You ain't supposed to be crying. You supposed to get tough. I'm just like.
Yeah, all that. And so now when y'all line up across from some girls back to it, it's barbecue chicken.
Yeah, I mean, if we down, say, what y'all doing? I would never in halftime, maybe one or two times go in there and just start screaming, but I'll go in there and say, what y'all doing? This ain't y'all. What y'all doing? Let's go do what we do. End of discussion.
It's done.
Lights on. Here we go.
It's about to get ill.
Man. that second state championship that we won, I remember at halftime we was playing Jenny Bryant.
Was that 2007?
Yes.
Second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
We was playing Jenny Bryant, and they had us down maybe 10, 3 minutes to go in the game. Mercedes Daniels came over there in the huddle, and she got in everybody's face, and I let her cuss them out. She cussed them. We worked too motherfucking hard for this. Blah, blah. What y'all doing? We done seen a lot better than this. Next 2 minutes, turn around, we up. Boom. Just like that. Hey, just kicked in another gear. I sit there like, yeah, baby, here we go.
You ain't even overcoach or none of that. You say, now y'all got it.
Let them do what they do. Once they start believing in themselves again, it was because Jenny was punk. Because Jenny was a man. She was a man among boys. She was swollen. And she's beating up everybody. And I'm like, whatever, But it's been great. All of this stuff has been really good over the years. I had a guy ask me the other day, would I get back into coaching high school basketball again? And I said, I do it in the summertime. I don't know if I would ever do it again at this level, especially with TPS.
It's almost like you've done too much so much has been done in order for y'all to move on, and too much is done to go back, sort of deal? Or do you just feel like you've done all that you've accomplished all that you could in that role?
It's not none of that. It's the respectability. You know yourself, Coach Daniels, what you have to go through over here to build a program.
That's right.
Your principal knows what you have to go through to build a program. Your athletic director knows what you have to go through to build this program, to make this program work, to be respectable. All of these people involved know this. The athletic director of Tulsa Public Schools knows what each program is and what it takes to go. The struggle that I did for 15 years and then to get nationally known by USA Today as one of the best programs in the country, and the best you could do is do what you did to me. I not let things go and be gone and this and that.
You're human though.
But it took a lot out of me for that program. A lot of family time away, a lot of money. And then when I went back to get my stuff, all my stuff was all over the floor. My trophies and stuff was all over the place. A lot of my stuff wasn't even there. They went through my dresser drawer, went through all of my stuff. My TV was on the floor. My couch was through out in the hall. I had pictures and stuff all out in the hallway. And I'm just like, is that what I deserve? Is that what I really TPS, is this what I really deserve? Regardless what you think, is that what I deserve? And to this day, nobody has said they're sorry for that. Just to where, hey, Coach Mack, I apologize. We dropped the ball on this. This shouldn't have never happened. This sport shouldn't have never happened. To this day, that's never happened, ever. And that's where I draw the line. Because I can take a punch.
Right.
You not kick me while I'm down or whatever. I can do that because I'm going to get back up. But that was personal to me because I built that. We didn't even have lockers. We got lockers built and put in there. TPS didn't do that. We didn't have lockers. I took care of our program. They didn't do anything for us. Washing machine, dryers, I bought. Those things we put in the concession stand. We didn't even have an ice box or ice machine. I got that in there for them. They never had none of that stuff over at East Central in there. None of that. I got it all in there. That people to this day. That's why I tell Gil Cloud and I tell Dr. Gesson, y'all just don't even understand. Y'all listen to this one man. He don't have a clue because he was never there. We did not have none of this stuff here. None.
Started with you.
It started. I mean, football had everything because they was doing the most. Travis and them was doing a great job.
Yeah.
We had nothing. So you had to change the culture. I had to get a washing machine. Can't keep washing our stuff over there with the boys, football stuff.
No, it's too much.
Got a dryer. They didn't buy it. The TPS didn't get it.
Straight out of your pocket.
Yeah, I had to have them come run service to the washing machine down in our area. It took a battle, but we got it done.
You don't mind the fight?
Nah, come on, build it.
Yeah.
I love the struggle because I use that as motivation. They ain't finna help us. We got to do this ourselves, ladies. Let's go. Parents, let's go.
Let me ask you this. Your peers. Talk about some of your most meaningful relationships with other fellow coaches that you've gone to battle with. Because and the reason I ask that is because I've been doing it for just a minute, but just a little bit under a decade, you know what I mean? But there was a time in my career where validation from my peers meant a lot to me. And it's still to some degree it does now. I want it to be known that, hey, I'm doing a pretty good job. If I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you on this. All of the coaches that I've coached against, in my face, Coach Mack, great job. But I know the story behind because Just as well as you telling me a great job, you over talking to this other coach about, yeah, that's something, blah, 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 blah. And it gets back to me.
Right.
But when I see you the next time I see you, I can still give you the respectability. Hey, coach, what's going on? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because there's a lot of coaches that I've coached against, I could have blasted them.
Yeah.
I don't got time for all of that. Even the negativity, I ain't got time for it. It's just great job. Now, have I gotten upset? Yeah, because some of these coaches, I've coached their kids. And then you go smash me, go up in the stands and be dogging me. All of that stuff comes back to you. The one thing that I had to stay focused on is this. I got your kid playing for me. I got to get your kid to college. I can't worry about that. People are going to say things. They're gonna make up stuff and this and that. They're going to tell you great job today and go over here and talk to your partners. Man, he ain't shit. He should have been playing my kid a little bit long. Blah, blah, blah. I could have done this better, blah, blah. It's always going to be that naysayers out there. Mm-hmm. Even your peers, the ones that'll tell you good job, they're going to go over here and sit down with somebody else and say something totally different.
Just dog you out.
That's just life. You cannot allow that to come into your program. You cannot allow that to affect you. You just got to be understanding that that's just how life is. You know, they're going to smile in your face and they're going to say things behind your back. They're going to try to run you under the bus behind your back. You win, great win, blah, 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 blah. But go over here and go talk to him. Man, I could have done this better. I would have had blah, 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 blah. Man, he really don't know what he's doing. He just got all the talent, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
but to see you next day, what's up, coach? What's going on, you know?
And people think having talent solves all your issues. It's just about which battle you want to fight.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a bunch of jabronis over here who can't play, but they're great kids? So now the challenge is, how we going to win a game?
Right.
Or you got some studs over here, but they got a bunch of internal BS, and now you got to manage egos and still try to win games at the same time. It's like, which battle you want to fight?
Well, you know, one of the things I was always great at, I felt like I was great at, is that you had, I recognized my players. Mm-hmm. I recognized what my players could do. If she's 6'3" and she's a banger, why am I have her out here trying to shoot threes?
Yeah.
You know, why am I gonna have her out here trying to bring the ball up? You know, so if we're at that point, when I recognize my kids, I put them in a win-win situation. Mm-hmm. I know she's gonna win that battle.
Yes,
I know she gonna sprint down the court. I know we're gonna get that outlet. We're gone. You know, mm-hmm. I got all of that. You know, I understand how to do that. A lot of coaches don't. They just say, okay, this is my system. This is what I'm gonna do. Hell, she gets the ball. She needs to. Blah, blah.
But you ain't got that personnel.
Yeah, you gotta understand. You know, but and I've always been a humble man when it comes to. I listen to everybody. I even listen to the administration that's there now. I ain't coming there. You need about. I try to do try to implement some of his stuff so you feel good about.
Yeah.
You know, because it's his school. It's blah blah blah. But the bottom line is, you got to be able to. My kids always believed in the system because we won.
Yeah.
We won.
It sold itself at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't hard. I'll say when Coach Wade was the coach at East Central, he went to Muskogee.
Oh, Linwood.
Yeah, Linwood. I used to do Linwood like this. And he used to look at me like, what? I said, I got the front gym. Look. All them banners that's hung up there on the rock.
That's why
I got the front gym. Until you can get your banners up, y'all going in the back gym.
Yeah. Real, huh?
Dude, I kept it real with him. But hey, look, that one. Oh, that one and that one and that one. Yeah. What you trying to say, Coach? Man, we work.
Yeah.
I ain't taking no time off. I need the gym.
I like it.
But we had
earned though.
Yeah, and we had a respectability. I mean, we laughed about it and this. And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna give you the gym today." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I said, "But bring them boys in here in just a little bit so we can get some of that." So that was my cup of tea. I used to mess with the boys coaches like crazy, do you?
You got to.
Yeah, I'm like, come on in here. So I'm gonna teach y'all a couple of things or two.
Yeah.
And if we have any success against the varsity, I'm hyped.
Yeah. That's all you need. You gonna stress that out.
You ain't supposed to have no successes against the varsity. None. If I trap your guard over here, your varsity guard, your point guard, I'm done. Yeah. Oh, we're done. Let's go.
He turned it over. Yeah. We done.
We ain't practicing no more. We done. Let's go down there. Y'all going back in the gym.
And they steaming
too.
Dude. Steaming.
I used to make them so mad about that because we'll have some success. I said, we're done. We out of here. This and that. So
y'all really go, huh?
Oh, we get up out of the gym, dog. But the next time that he seen us,
wow.
I'll teach you how to walk out the gym on me.
You gotta love it. Well, Coach, man, I wish we could do this a lot longer. Now I gotta go be a teacher.
Right.
But here's how I'm gonna put a wrap on this thing, man. We always finish all of our podcasts with the same question. So with all due disrespect, I want you to tell me what team, what game, what year that you lost, all right? One of your squads lost and you knew that was not a game you were supposed to lose. You were the better team, you felt like. You had better players, you felt like. Hell, you may have felt like you were a better coach. And it was a game that got away from you, but you want it back. So if you could go back to that one and replay it over, who would that be?
2005, the state finals versus Claremore that first year. We lost we beat them twice that year. Smacked them.
Ooh, it wasn't even respectable.
Smacked them. Lost to them in the state finals. By 2.
Oh. What do you chalk that one up to? Were your girls flat because they're like, oh, we got this wrapped up? Or was it a combination of that and Claremore being just, oh, we ready to get them?
Never been there. That was our first year. That was our first year going to the state finals.
Right.
You know, it was our very first. I chalked it up. You know, hey, we just didn't get it done. Come back the next 2 years, we smacked that same team that next year, just drug them.
06.
Drug them. Get on out the gym. Then we got Miss Ford and them, and also in the finals, we got them too. You know, they had probably the girl.
That was Edison. They were tough, man.
TPS girl basketball, Edison was the king of the crop. They had everything and everybody that you want. Booker T was the second level compared to Edison. Edison had Uzi, had Gabby. I mean, they had all of them. They had a college team over there. You know, and when we beat them in the final, I'm good. You know, we beat Booker T, I'm good. I'm done now. We ain't done what we need to do. Now let's move on to something bigger. So that Claremore game would have been at first, because they would have gave us 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But we got 2 in a row. We would have had 3 in a row. So, but I got to give hats off to Mark Campbell. He's passed now, but he's one of the greatest girls basketball coaches in the state of Oklahoma. And whether people liked him or disliked him, the man was in the finals every year. I give him the utmost respect. And his daughter, I think she's at Lincoln Christian right now. If she's watching this podcast, and I'll say this again, a lot of the things that Coach Campbell did with his kids, I recognize and I respect that. That's big time, big time. If you ask anybody about girls basketball, Mark Campbell, Claremore girls, always, every year.
Humble man, like you said.
Yeah.
Coach,
So,
I had a blast with this, my man.
Anytime, man.
For sure. We may have to circle back and do a round 2.
Hey, just let me know.
We in there.
Yeah.